It's your boy, Info. What's good, homies? Today on the show, we're getting into some pressing matters, of course. We've got this happening right now. It's obviously it's my birthday again. So this happened around my birthday last year. We're reliving it. This is part 2, birthday special, also known as Canada, USA threatening Canada with a good time. Part 7 of 9. Take 210, 420. Any way you want to cut it, look at it. I hope you have a good day. Jeff in Calgary, you have a rotten good day, buddy. I want you in Texas. Trina in Texas, you're having a crispy day today, Trina. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. I'm, of course, the hottest guy on the internet. Tune in and find out exactly how hot I am. On today's episode, we're tuning right into CPAC here. Shouts out to CPAC for capturing this hilarity and making me so happy. Guy from Winnipeg still smiling 1 year later. Let's listen why. Let's listen. We're going to have a listen. We'll pause it in between. This video is for yada yada. I am a Canadian citizen. CPAC, see down here, this is the Canadian politics arena. They have videos. I watch them. Apparently there's commercials on these videos. I'm not sure where the money's going. We're going to find out all that and the other. We're going to follow the money. Stay tuned, folks. Now we're going to just review this hilarity. I didn't quite see him tripping down the stairs, so here he is on the stairs. I'm not sure if they cut it out because he trips around like one of these stairs. I think he is trying to regain composure. He's got a ballerina-like stance with his arms at his side, like he's ready to catch himself, brace himself as he falls from walking. So, politician in Canada, guys. Oh, you American politicians, you fall down walking up. So, falling down walking down is actually a thing. At age 42, I don't know, 65, whatever this guy is, 480. Whoosh, there goes your papers. Oh, what are you going to read, guy? What are you actually going to read? Oh, there goes all your paperwork for the day. Ooh, you may as well go home now, bud. Just wait, hang on. We got to review this. So all his paperwork is just blown away. Watch and see as no one in their right... No one will bring the paperwork back to the wooden podium there in the middle of a driveway. Let's have a listen. Oh, he is resigning, folks. This is going to be an incredible day, relived right here on the show. Make sure you hit that like button. If you are not a big fan of Trudeau, you need to share this video out a big time. Share it out to all the NDP, the Conservatives, even share it out to the Liberals. The Liberals didn't even like this guy, so let's listen. First, let's watch him tripping and falling over his own feet, walking downstairs in some pretty little shoes he put on today. Little glass slipper fell. Oh, there goes his paperwork, written in crayon. Let's check that out again. Just another. Oh, and there goes your words, bud. There goes all his. Let's get him again. Only one more time. One more. One more. This is getting good. Yes. Gotcha, Trudy.
So I thought it might be fun for us to do this again.
I have no idea what he's talking about. Does anybody know?
So I thought it might be fun for us to do this again. Bon matin. Every morning
We don't get to see his ankles, though. They cut it out where he, like, walks out the front door and we get to see his ankles.
So I thought it might be fun for us to do this again. Bon matin. Every morning I've woken up as Prime Minister.
That's
I've
a
been
shame.
inspired by the resilience.
Hang on. That's a shame. But I'm still talking. That was a huge mistake. Canada, what were you thinking, ladies? Worried about all his hair? Oh, this dude's got hair. So does this dude, Canada.
So I thought it might...
Gotcha! Remember, folks, it's my birthday. You want to hammer down on that like button. Make sure.
So I thought it might be fun for us to do this again.
No clue what he's saying.
Bon matin. Every morning I've woken up as Prime Minister. I've been inspired by the resilience, the generosity, and the determination of Canadians. It is the driving force of every single day I have the privilege of serving in this office. That is why, since 2015, I've fought for this country, for you, to strengthen and grow the middle class.
You fought us. You didn't
Why we
fight
rallied
for
to
this
support each
country.
other
You
through the
fought this
pandemic.
country. No, bud. You weren't fighting for us. You were fighting us. I'm gonna blow your paperwork off again here, bud. Goof.
So I thought it might be fun for us to do this again.
No clue. What does he mean?
Bon matin.
Where are we?
Every morning I've woken up as Prime Minister. I've been inspired by the resilience,
What is that? Is that like a
generosity,
side comb
and the
over?
determination
He's
of
got like a
Canadians.
side comb over. Check out
It
his
is
hair
the
now. He
driving
looks
force of
nothing like
every
that.
single day
Not
I
a
have
thing.
the privilege of
There's a
serving in
lot
this
left of
office.
it.
That is why, since 2015, I've fought for this country, for you, to strengthen and grow the middle class. Why we rallied to support each other through the pandemic, to advance reconciliation, to defend free trade on this continent, to stand strong with Ukraine and our democracy, and to fight climate change and get our economy ready for the future. We are at a critical moment in the world. Mes chers Canadiens, à chaque matin, je me suis réveillé en tant que Premier ministre, inspiré par la résilience, la générosité et la détermination qui nous caractérisent si bien en tant que Canadiens. C'est ce qui me motive à chaque jour où j'ai le privilège de servir dans ce poste. C'est pourquoi, depuis 2015, je me suis battu pour ce pays, pour vous, pour renforcer la classe moyenne. Pourquoi nous nous sommes mobilisés en tant que Canadiens pour se soutenir les uns les autres pendant la pandémie, pour faire progresser la réconciliation, pour défendre le libre-échange sur notre continent, pour notre soutien inébranlable de l'Ukraine et de la démocratie, et pour lutter contre les changements climatiques et préparer l'économie de l'avenir. Nous traversons vraiment un moment critique dans le monde. My friends, as...
Let me try and translate that for you. I actually had to go barf, but I'm back. So basically what he's saying is,
you all know, I'm a fighter.
he's not a fighter. I don't know what books he was reading before he went on the show. Anytime, anywhere, bud. When I was 7, I could have taken this dude. I'm from Winnipeg. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Bone in my body has always told
Has always quivered in fear.
me to fight because I care
Fight,
deeply
Canadians.
about Canadian.
See, he says it. He legitimately says it. I was fighting Canadians. He ends. I'm just teasing. You know what'll happen? You guys, this show is 100% fiction. If I have to tell you that, I mean, there's something wrong with you right out of the gate. We're on YouTube. Comedy is real. If you don't like comedy shows, don't go on the internet, bud. Do not go on the internet. Okay, Karen? The internet doesn't even want you on the internet, Karen. How? Karen, go. Go, Karen. I'm waiting. Thank you. Jeff from Calgary, thank you for removing the Karen from the stream. They Karen, it Karen, shit Karen, whatever, however your pronunciations are. You Karen. You need 7 ways to say your name. There's something wrong with you. I got 3. Hey, good looking. Hey, sexy. Hey, hash man. Now remember, don't ever say hey to me. Be like, hello, Mr. Hashman. I'd like to have a little chat with you about your hash. Hashy. Oh, hashy. You call me Master Hash. You understand me? You can't be me, stop trying. That's my line, bud. Yeah. It's a good day today. It's my birthday. Trudeau's 1 year deep into resignation. No clue what's going on with Katie Bot. That is so weird, guys. So weird. Katie Bot.
I care deeply about this country, and I will always be motivated by what is in the best interest of Canadians. And the fact is, despite best efforts to work through it, Parliament has been paralyzed for months after what has been the longest session of a minority parliament in Canadian history. That's why this morning I advised the Governor-General that we need a new session of Parliament. She has granted this request, and the House will now be prorogued until March 24th. Over the holidays, I've also had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future. Throughout the course of my career, any success I have personally achieved has been because of their support and with their encouragement. So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the President of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election. Mes chers amis, comme vous savez, je suis un fighter. Dans mon fort intérieur, je me suis toujours battu parce que je me soucie profondément des Canadiens. Et je serai toujours motivé par ce qui est dans le meilleur intérêt des Canadiens. Et le fait est que malgré tous les efforts déployés pour passer à travers, le Parlement est paralysé depuis des mois, après ce qui a été la plus longue session d'un Parlement minoritaire dans l'histoire de notre pays. C'est pourquoi ce matin, j'ai rencontré la gouverneure générale pour lui faire savoir que nous avions besoin d'une nouvelle session du Parlement. Elle a accédé à ma demande et la Chambre sera donc prorogée jusqu'au 24 mars. Pendant le temps des fêtes, j'ai également eu l'occasion de réfléchir et d'avoir de longues conversations avec ma famille quant à notre avenir. Tout au long de ma carrière, tout le succès que j'ai eu personnellement est dû à...
Hold on. What does he mean, internal battles? Like, what did you sign up for? So you're like, oh, I can't be Prime Minister because it's getting tough. You know what? I won't be able to be Prime Minister this year. It's too tough for me. You know what I mean? Sorry, I cannot be your Prime Minister. I am not a fighter after all. Sorry, I can't be your prime minister. I'm way too tough. I gotta move on. I'm a fighter, but I gotta fight for myself, not you guys. I mean, I want to know what the internal battles that he was fighting with were. As a prime minister, you're an open book. You're an open book. Your medical records, everything. You're supposed to be like, yep, this guy's is fit. He's sane. All these things. You have to take exams from a special physician to ensure that you're fit to lead the country. You know what I mean? Now I'm wondering. Now that line there, internal battles, of what sort? I mean, that is such a vague. It doesn't get any vaguer. Is it you're getting a divorce? Is it you're having a divorce behind the scenes and you can't? It's sad for you. I get that. Or is it something to do with people coming down on you because you did something with money you shouldn't have? What type of internal battles were too much for him to carry on as prime minister when he starts out saying he's a fighter and he's never given up in his life? Did you guys miss this? We've been only live 5 minutes.
Soutien et à leurs encouragements. Donc hier soir, au souper, j'ai partagé avec mes enfants la décision.
Something's not right. There's definitely something. He's not telling us that it's an outside power pushing him right out the door. It has to be. Did you guys know they made a movie about this before he did this? There's a movie about this on Amazon Prime. Pierogiing and everything. Pierogiing. I used to talk about it last year. I talked about it. If you go watch my old videos with almost 1 million views on this, I got a 500,000, an 800,000. I got 300,000 view videos. I did a bunch of these, like different kinds. And because it matters. This is something that I will always, stuff like this matters. You know what I mean? Like people out there have to realize in life, there's only so much stuff we can pay attention to. And are we making mistakes following and paying attention to some weird drama? You know what I mean? While stuff is happening right beside us. Next door, next country, in this moment, right? So we're always trying to figure out what Trudy's up to, right?
Que je partage avec vous tous aujourd'hui. J'ai l'intention de démissionner de mon poste de chef du Parti libéral du Canada et de Premier ministre une fois que le parti aura choisi son prochain chef à l'issue d'un processus national rigoureux et compétitif. Hier soir, j'ai demandé au président du parti de commencer les étapes nécessaires. Le pays mérite un choix clair et réel lors des prochaines élections. Il est devenu évident pour moi que si je dois me concentrer sur des batailles internes, je ne peux pas être la meilleure option lors de ces élections. Le Parti libéral du Canada est une institution importante dans l'histoire de notre grand pays et de notre démocratie. Un nouveau premier ministre et chef du parti portera les valeurs et les idées du Parti libéral dans la prochaine élection. J'ai hâte d'observer le déroulement de ce processus dans les mois à venir. Nous avons été élus pour la 3e fois en 2021 pour renforcer l'économie après la pandémie et faire progresser les intérêts du Canada dans un monde complexe. Et c'est exactement ce que je vais continuer à faire, ce que nous allons continuer à faire pour les Canadiens. The Liberal Party of Canada is an important institution in the history of our great country and democracy. A new Prime Minister and leader of the Liberal Party will carry its values and ideals into that next election. I'm excited to see the process unfold in the months ahead. We were elected for the third time in 2021 to strengthen the economy post-pandemic and advance Canada's interests in a complicated world. And that is exactly the job that I and we will continue to do for Canadians. Merci beaucoup, mes amis.
Thank you, Prime Minister. We'll now go to questions, starting with Laurence Martin, Radio-Canada.
Bonjour, Monsieur Trudeau. Vous vouliez le faire, ce combat contre Pierre Poilievre. Des batailles internes, il y en a dans votre parti depuis plusieurs mois déjà. Pourquoi est-ce que vous décidez d'abdiquer maintenant? Qu'est-ce qui vous a fait changer d'avis?
Comme vous savez, je ne suis pas quelqu'un qui recule facilement devant un combat, surtout un combat si important pour le parti et pour le pays. Mais je fais ce job parce que l'intérêt des Canadiens et le bien-être de notre pays, de notre démocratie, me tient à cœur. Et c'est devenu clair que je ne peux pas être le chef dans les prochaines élections à cause des batailles internes.
Ensuite,
As you all know, I am a fighter, and I am not someone who backs away from a fight, particularly when a fight.
So he's a fighter, and he's particularly not backing away when a fight is tough, as he's about to say, and he quits.
Is as important as this one is. But I have always been driven by my love for Canada, by my desire to serve Canadians, and by what is in the best interest of Canadians. And Canadians deserve a real choice in the next election. And it has become obvious to me with the internal battles that I cannot be the one to carry the Liberal standard into the next election.
Vous êtes au pouvoir depuis près de 10 ans. Le Canada a changé avec votre gouvernement. S'il y a une réalisation que vous pourriez nommer, dont vous êtes le plus fier, je sais qu'il y en a plusieurs, mais s'il y en a une, et peut-être un regret aussi.
En 2015, on a été élu sur une promesse de travailler pour la classe.
I'm so confused. Like, were people, like, you gotta ask yourself, how do you word this? Like, this is just a hypothetical. But let's say, what if someone behind the scenes had something on Trudy and was forcing him out with that? Because he keeps saying these internal battles. So it's somebody like in his party or in his inner circle that he's fighting with. He calls it a battle. He says these internal battles. There's more than one entity or people or person or thing that is battling him to make him come to this decision. You tell me. Leave a comment if you think it's right or what.
Moyenne dans ce pays. Et c'est ce qu'on a pu faire. On a réduit la pauvreté, on a aidé énormément les familles, on a créé une économie qui fonctionne pour bien plus de monde en se préparant pour un avenir et plus numérique et où les changements climatiques vont avoir un plus grand impact. On a fait énormément de travail avec les Canadiens. Le Canada est meilleur à cause du travail que nous avons tous fait au cours des dernières années. Un regret, je continue à penser que si notre système électoral aurait été changé pour que les gens puissent mettre un premier, un deuxième, un troisième choix sur le bulletin, les partis auraient passé plus de temps à regarder les points qu'ils avaient en commun pour être les deuxième ou troisième choix des voteurs plutôt que de voir la polarisation que nous avions. Mais je ne pouvais pas de façon unilatérale changer notre mode de scrutin dans ce pays.
next question.
It's like a 9-year-old.
Cette polarisation que nous avions, mais je ne pouvais pas de façon unilatérale changer notre mode de scrutin dans ce pays.
Next question.
We got elected in 2015 to fight for the middle class, and that's exactly what we've done over the past years. We reduced their taxes, we increased the benefits to families, we made sure the economy was focused on working for everyone and not just a few, and that has changed. That has dropped poverty rates in Canada, that has brought more people into the workforce, that has moved us forward on reconciliation in a way that has deeply improved the opportunities and success of Canadians despite the incredibly difficult times the world is going through right now. There's lots more work to be done, and I know that this party and this country and Canadians will keep doing it.
What's Trudeau's net worth?
If I have one regret, particularly as we approach this election, well, there are probably many regrets that I will think of, but I do wish that we'd been able to change the way we elect our governments in this country so that people could simply...
He's so worried. He's like, yeah, no, everything is just in turmoil. As of 2025, estimates of, this is an AI overview. I Googled it, right? So I'll tell you now what it says. As of 2025, estimates of Justin Trudeau's net worth vary significantly. I don't know how that's possible for somebody who was in office, who had to give his tax receipts every year and make sure he wasn't doing business and his businesses weren't profiting off his decisions while he was in power. It says he has, no one knows. No one knows if he has 10 million or 100 million. So that's like, start swearing for me, because YouTube's really Karen. Super Karens on Google. There are so many Google Super Karens. It is crazy. Check this out. This is what it says. Just so we're clear. This is Google that I pulled that from. Look at that. Very significantly, from 10 million all the way up to 96 freaking million dollars. His amount of money he made was off of this. He makes 500,000 or so a year. How much does the Canadian Prime Minister make a year?
According to Wikipedia, as of April 2024, the Prime Minister's annual salary is $406,200.
It's only 400. How much does the President of the United States make every year, Mr. Trump? We're having a hard time figuring this out. Donald Trump makes about 400,000 a year as president, and I mean, really, we would just have to get the tax records to see if Trump was in power or Bidet. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know if there's people out there that understand what was going on before, but there's been a few mistakes made with regard to topics regarding an auto pen and the person who was using the auto pen, which would put them as the president at the time. And mistakes were made verbally by important people who don't make mistakes with those type of verbiage. Never. It would not happen. You're not going to say your mom is one of the best tennis players in the world when your mom doesn't even freaking play men's tennis. You know what I mean? It's just not going to slip out in that order. But you're not on my level to catch these. Read between the lines is a serious statement. Serious statement. One of the biggest ways that a judge has in his arsenal is your words can be used against you in a court of law. Make sense of that? I doubt you will. Remember, I am a fucking legend. Where you at, babe? Where you at? 1 second. I'm live. Coming to you. There. Are you good, Bay, or is there more? That's good. Okay. Guys, we're going to check out Trudeau. I forgot
a second
to
choice or a
unpause it,
third
but
choice
the
on the
reason
same ballot.
because we got to pay
So the parties
attention
would spend
to,
more time trying.
you got to really contemplate the statements, the things said on this show. Contemplate it. Truly think about it. This is a lighter. I don't know if you guys can see that. Again, Karen's out there. This is a freaking lighter for a barbecue. We're having Impossible Burgers on the grill. It's nice out in Winnipeg. So yeah, I'm going to light the grill.
To be people's second or third choices, and people would have been looking for things they have in common instead of trying to polarize and divide Canadians against each other. I think in this time, figuring out how to pull together and find common ground remains something that is really important for democracies, but I could not change unilaterally without support of other parties our electoral system. That wouldn't have been responsible.
Prochaine question.
Tonda McCharles, Toronto Star. Prime Minister, up until 3 weeks ago, you were intending to stay, and it seems that the event 3 weeks ago of Ms. Freeland coming out and saying you were firing her as your finance minister was the catalyst that brought us here today. So can you explain your side of what happened there?
Christia has been by my side for close to 10 years now. She has been an incredible political partner through just about everything we have done as a government and as a party over the past decade. I had really hoped that she would agree to continue as my deputy prime minister and take on one of the most important files that not just this government but this country is facing, but she chose otherwise. In regards to what actually happened, I am not someone who's in the habit of sharing private conversations. Christia a été depuis presque 10 ans maintenant à mes côtés en tant que partenaire politique essentiel à presque tout ce qu'on a réussi en tant que gouvernement, en tant que parti. J'aurais vraiment souhaité qu'elle choisisse de continuer en tant que ma vice-première ministre et qu'elle prenne un des dossiers les plus importants auxquels les Canadiens et notre gouvernement vont faire face dans les mois à venir, d'ici les prochaines élections. Mais elle n'a pas voulu. Mais par rapport aux détails, je ne suis pas quelqu'un qui partage les détails de conversations privées.
You spoke about the Liberal Party as an institution and the internal battles right now, but I'm wondering if you feel that another leader will have more success than you will at beating Pierre Poilievre in the next campaign.
Pierre Poilievre's vision for this country is not the right one for Canadians. Stopping the fight against climate change doesn't make sense. Backing off on the values and strength in diversity that Canada has always worked to pull itself together on is not the right path for the country. Attacking journalists, the CBC institutions, that's not what Canadians need in this moment. We need an ambitious, optimistic view of the future, and Pierre Poilievre is not offering that. And I look forward to the fight as progressives across this country stand up for the kind of vision for a better country that Canadians have always carried, despite the tremendous pressures around the world to think smaller, to veer towards the hard right, and to be less ambitious for what we can be and do as a country when the world really needs Canada.
That's not an answer, though. Yes or no? Is there another leader that could beat him?
Absolutely.
En français, sur le leader?
Oui.
Non, mais est-ce que vous
Pierre Poilievre.
en français, s'il vous plaît, merci.
Pierre Poilievre a une vision profondément petite et erronée pour ce pays, si même on accepte qu'il ait une vision, de reculer sur les droits fondamentaux, d'arrêter la défense, la lutte contre les changements climatiques, de ne pas investir dans une économie plus verte, plus inclusive, de toujours chercher des divisions entre les Canadiens plutôt que de rassembler pour faire face à l'avenir de façon
You guys, let me know what
optimiste et
you think.
ambitieuse.
Do you think there was an outside influence that made Trudeau leave? There's the Chrystia Freeland thing. She ends up going and being the final. Let's find out where she is right now. Let's use Google. Oh, the wife called. We're using Google. Hey Google, where is Chrystia Freeland right now working in what country? So it says January 5th, 2026, CTV News says Ukrainian President, holy, I don't know how to say that, has appointed former federal minister Chrystia Freeland as an advisor on economic development. Has appointed former federal minister Chrystia Freeland as an advisor on economic development. But then I was reading, what is going on? Who is the CEO of Rhodes in England? CBC says November 20th, 2025, Freeland will move to UK for a new job as CEO of Rhodes Trust, educational charity. So where did Carney came from the UK, and he went to Carney went from the UK to Canada, Ottawa. I'm sure she lived somewhere close to Ottawa. Did Christia Freeland live in Ottawa? Warden of Rhodes House and Chief Executive Officer of the Rhodes Trust. She's succeeding Rick Traynor, who was the interim. It doesn't say where she lived. Oh, Summerhill, Toronto, Ontario. So she had Summerhill and Toronto were her two residences. She actually has a Rhodes Scholarship from 1993, I'm just noticing now. And that is going to put this 30, no, that can't be right. Yeah, it's that long ago. 33 years ago, they gave her a scholarship. I'll try and find out how much. Wow. You gotta make sense of this. Established in 1902, it is one of the oldest graduate scholarships in the world and one of the most prestigious international scholarship programs. Its founder wanted to promote unity among English-speaking nations and instill a sense of civic-minded leadership and moral fortitude in future leaders, irrespective of their chosen career paths. The scholarship committee selects candidates based on, are you talking about Trudy right there? Because he went from what was he? Scholarship committee selects candidates based on a combination of literary and academic achievements. There is hope for me to be Prime Minister of Canada. The scholarship committee selects candidates based on a combination of literary, academic achievements, athletic involvement. I can beat up anybody right now. Character traits like truth and courage. I would also save anybody in a burning building right now. And leadership. Potential, originally assessed on a 200-point scale. In 2008, the criteria were revised. Oh, no, you didn't. Let me read it again. In 2018, the criteria were 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 revised. In 2018, the criteria was revised to emphasize. Are you joking me? This has mistakes in it? What am I reading? In 2018, the criteria were revised to emphasize using one's talents and caring for others. So without saying it, that's emotional intelligence, okay? But they didn't start doing this until fucking 2018. Damn. Way behind. Anybody who just started learning there got it, but anyone who was a past, she's 93. she got the scholarship. They didn't start teaching this till 2018. The criteria were revised to emphasize using one's talents and caring for others. The American Rhodes Scholarship is highly competitive with an acceptance rate of around 4% in recent years. While other countries having While other countries have varying rates, scholars can study full-time postgraduate courses at Oxford for 1 to 3 years, receiving financial support for tuition and living expenses along with access to Rhodes House facilities. So they just give you everything. Wait, hang on. Let's read this again. The American Rhodes Scholarship is highly competitive with acceptance rates of around 4% in recent years, while other countries have varying rates. Scholars can study, they're saying like they accept 70% or 12%, and this place only, they're so pretentious, they only do 4. You know what I mean? Like, that's a dumb thing to say, because what if your whole class was amazing? You would be like, you know what, I can't take you this round, but next round I guarantee you're coming here. You've got skills. And to say that there's people out there that don't have skills almost strikes me as like when you've gone this far and like everybody has skills. You just haven't recognized your field, right? So everybody has something. But I don't want to get into it too far because I'll do one on this one day, and there's a pretentious level to that wording that you can't say that you've only at most ever accepted 4%, because it's literally, it says in 2018 the criteria were revised to emphasize using one's talents and caring for others. So you're gonna like people go out of their way that far across the world with their bags and everything, taking their own flight there, and you turn down 96% of the people? There's another underlying reason, and it has to do with your name. I'm not playing. You guys think what you want. The American Rhodes Scholarship is highly competitive with an acceptance rate of around 4% in recent years, while other countries have varying rates. We'll look up what the other countries let in. Scholars can study full-time postgraduate courses at Oxford for 1 to 3 years, receiving financial support for tuition, living expenses, along with access to Rhodes House facilities. I guess you just get to live there. I mean, they basically take care of you very well because they're going to pay for your tuition. They give you living expenses, money, along with access to Rhodes House facilities. Or maybe it's like their internet cafes and libraries, and maybe they have a cafe or something, like a cafeteria and a shower and a swimming pool. Who knows? A gym. Rhodes Scholarship has faced controversy since its inception. I'm reading this off of the internet here. I'll look at the top where I am. I'm going to Google it everywhere. Concerning the exclusion of women. Oh no. I don't know if that's true, but that's what this is saying. We'll look up and find out if that's true. This is just hearsay for now. And then it literally says another thing that I don't want to say right now. But can you imagine what it could be? Like, I can't even say it. It's so... Initially, the scholarship was limited to male students within the Commonwealth of Nations. Germany, United States, a restriction that only changed in 1977 following the passage of the Sex Discrimination Act. Protests for inclusion of non-white scholars began in 1970s, but it was not until 1991 that the black South Africans were awarded the scholarship due to the political changes in the country. Additionally, Criticism of Cecil Rhodes' colonialist legacy has spurred movements calling for a re-evaluation of the scholarship and its ties to Rhodes. Critics have also highlighted the tendency of recipients to pursue careers in business rather than public service, diverging from the scholarship's original intent. So someone hijacked this dude's scholarship is what it's saying here. We'll have to look this up. It didn't seem like it was bad at first, but it went dark towards the end. So we're going to look this up. I got the actual verbiage here. Is there some ties to colonialism with Cecil Rhodes? Yes, Cecil Rhodes had extensive and defining ties to British colonialism in Southern Africa. He is considered one of the most prominent figures of the 19th century British imperialism, whose actions and policies profoundly shaped the region and laid groundwork for the apartheid system in South Africa. This is from Google. This is straight off Google. You can see at the top there. Just reading Google. So, it also says key aspects of his involvement in colonialism include founder of Rhodesia. Oh my goodness. Throughout his British South African Company, BSAC, Rhodes, British South African Company, Rhodes was instrumental in the colonization of the region, creating the territories of Northern and Southern Rhodesia, now Zambia and Zimbabwe, respectively, which were named after him in 1895. Really? You couldn't tell. Expansionists and ambitions. Rhodes aimed to extend British influence across Africa, famously promoting the Cape to Cairo Railway project and wishing to paint the map red, the color for British territory. He put on it, like it's in brackets. Disposition and exploitation. He utilized the private army equipped with Maxim machine guns to colonize territories and use his company to expropriate land from indigenous populations. His policies enforced forced labor and facilitated the looting of resources. This is really not good. De Beers mining monopoly. He founded De Beers Mining Company, which consolidated diamond mines in Kimberley and used closed compounds to control, restrict, and exploit black workers. This is so sad. The imperial factor Rhodes used, because I can't even get into the thought of closed compounds to control, restrict, and exploit people. It didn't matter their age, I'm guessing. The imperial factor, Rhodes used, it's a compound. Rhodes used this is something. What company was De Beers rebranded under? Anglo-American PLC. However, as of May 2024, Anglo-American announced plans to divest or sell De Beers as part of a major corporate restructuring. It says retail rebranding in February 2025. The retail arm, formerly known as De Beers Jewelers, and before that, De Beers Diamond Jewelers, was rebranded as De Beers London to emphasize its luxury status and heritage. De Beers owns. It says since 2012, De Beers has been an 85% owned subsidiary of global mining giant Anglo American PLC. Who owns Anglo American PLC? Damn. You could so it's made up of a bunch of people, right? Anglo American PLC is a publicly traded company on the London Stock Exchange and Johannesburg Stock Exchange, meaning it is owned by a diverse group of institutional and individual shareholders rather than a single person or family. But here's what you can do. You can say what is the largest family or person with stock, like the biggest stock in it, right? So like their 9.5% is owned by, man, companies that play with your money, but it's the one that's the dark colored stone. Hey? And then it says man, state owned, so 6.5 to 7.3% South African interests in the public custodian. It is considered a key public custodian of South African interests in the company. A South African state-owned fund manager that holds about 6.5 to 7.3%. That's not good. That's really not good. And then, of course, it's the other one. Instead of a car or a truck or an SUV, it's the last thing that holds the most people. You get one if you have too many kids, and then your life sucks. You know what I mean? That thing. And you're always standing on from the devil. You know what I mean? Blank the devil. I mean, I'm not going to get into it. It's 6.4% for that scuzzy bucket. Other major holders, significant stakes are held by. I've heard of that one actually. That's weird. And this other one only just screams. What was it? Johannesburg area, but it doesn't say that. But I'm gonna guess it's somewhere like that. It's just different, but they own a good portion too. It's really weird. Anglo Tech merger. In September 2025, Anglo American and Tech Resources agreed to a merger of equals to form Anglo Tech PLC, a new global giant focused on copper. What's the main reason companies are collecting copper so bad right now? And they're closing copper mines to jack up the price. What's the reasoning? What's copper's main use in society? Phone lines? It is a fascinating time for the mining industry because copper has shifted from being a base metal to a strategic asset. While it might look like companies are closing mines, yeah, I know. So copper is up right now, silver and gold. They keep going up, eh? But they had a drop, but they kicked back again already a bit. So, but you got to look at it this way. If you go back 5 years ago and look at the prices, that's not that long ago. If you invested what you had in metals, right, and you split it however down the line, let's say you had 100 grand and you put 50 in gold, 25 in silver, and whatever it was, you did another 25 in copper, just for whatever reason you did it. Copper, silver, and gold. Okay. Check how much money you'd have, and I don't know if you can do. Gotta be that's a shit ton more money than you had before. A shit ton. Like you're looking at a fortune compared to what you have if you just like went out and got a new truck, and or you bought like just if you had a new truck by now 5 years later that truck's devalued so big time, so big time. Copper's main use, the metal of electrification. Copper is the best known precious conductor of electricity in a world moving away from fossil fuels. It is fundamental building. It is the fundamental building block. Electric vehicles, green energy, the grid, AI and data centers, the supply gap, why it feels like they are collecting it. How many mines in Canada used to make copper? I don't know if that's going to come up too accurate. They'll give me something on it, but I'll ask it again differently. Well, there isn't a single official count. Yeah, I know, they don't. Prehistoric mining, indigenous peoples have mined native copper for over 6,000 years. Researchers were identified as many, Researchers have identified as many as 5,000 prehistoric pits in Lake Superior alone. What happened to Lake Superior? How was it mined 6,000 years ago? It is a fascinating piece of history because the Lake Superior region, specifically Isle Royale and the Keweenaw Peninsula in Michigan, I've seen that stuff because of people on YouTube, and and parts of Ontario contains some of the purest copper ever found on Earth. What makes this unique is that the copper wasn't trapped inside ore that needed to be melted down and smelted. It was native copper, meaning it existed in the ground as pure solid metal chunks. That's the term native copper. How it was mined 6,000 years ago. Indigenous peoples, don't take anything they say for real past stuff like this. Don't. The timeline could be like 300 years. And what they used to do this could be an old smelting plant that was making cannonballs or who knows, like bells or something, in the raw form, like it was already put there. But like they already manufactured it with electrolysis and water, probably like pure. Like I'm a genius, right? So if you want to talk about how to purify something, I'm your guy. I'm your guy. That's my sieving and sifting. This is what I've done since 93, 94. Get out of here. But I came up with this in 3 seconds after stating how it was probably made. And I guarantee you there's people out there smart enough first thing you do in order to figure out if they did do this through electrolysis is you have to first create an experiment, and you have to prove it. You have to prove R&D. You have to get down to the bottom of it and find out if it actually is possible to refine copper in huge balls of it at a highly pure level, right? Maybe sous vide or something. There's doing something with and then there's something else they're gonna do to. Well, I'm gonna say electrolysis with some sort of magnified spinners in there using. They're gonna use a centrifugal force, and they're gonna spin the water really fast at such a speed that the weights are separate, right? So you're creating those like in a sluice box. I think it's the Swedes or someone that they make let me look it up here. There's different types of sluice boxes with riffles, and it's like I forget, cyclonic effect, but let me look it up here. Do the Swedes use different types of sluice boxes for mining that allows them to hydraulic riffles? Is that what I'm talking about? Yes, that's it. It's called hydraulic riffles. I could talk it out basically. So you're using hydraulic riffles, but now take out the. Now you're just gonna use the like aspects of that, but I'm picturing a big chamber, like a big vat, and you got something on each side, like two long poles go down, and there's electricity running through them in some sort of silicone like environment. But it's no, it's gonna make the water is gonna be electrified, and that's going to and then you start spinning these things, and then you pour in all your different metals, right? You heat everything up to a point where they all separate. Like this is genius shit, but it's also basic shit for anyone who's in this type of stuff. They're like, They're making one right now, right fucking now. Let's go. Have it. Have that. You know, there's your pure gold. Like if you're looking at how to get gold out of everything, basically start dumping buckets of sand through this machine. Have the bottom of it a disperser, right? So it's going to throw it all off. You're just collecting the lightweight materials, the lightest, or you're going to control that with no, you know how humidity controls your air in your environment? Take out humidity and maybe put temperature in water. And then also because the hotter something is, I feel like you're going to cut through it faster. You know what I mean? So add temperature, take away temperature, or you're going to do one more. I had one more. Damn. Viscosity. So viscosity, you don't use water, right? You use a lubricant, some other material that you can light up and make really hot, really fast. You know what I mean? And already pour in liquefied metals into it, right? So there's no difference in temperature shock. Um, you're looking to immediately, by the time it hits the bottom, all the heavy chunky stuff you weren't looking for, rocks, debris, and then you could have other stuff scooping off the top as well, skimming for soil, hair, whatever, like things, right? But keep things on the up and up, and it's not going to cost you anything. It's literally a skimmer, right? And then something else wipes it off, and then it redoes it again, and it wipes it off, and it just goes on. All straight automated. You could use people, but it'd be just ridiculous. There's no point. This is someone's got to watch the machine and stuff and pay attention to the controls and the numbers on the screens, different things. But you're looking at maybe a 3 to 6, 8-man crew could run that. Give me 8 million euros. I want to work right here. I want a full facility, and I will make one. I'll make one for somebody out there, some giblet with way too much. You know what I mean? But I'm not even into that stuff. Like I love everything and everyone, but my thing is so different from your thing. I love tech, so I'm all about, we need these, abundance of materials. Someone out there is gonna have touch a phone, touch an iPod, touch a tablet, and they're gonna make the next thing. Or it's just gonna be pushed out to us because of the timeline, and it's been 50 years, so they release the next tech, right? This is all playing out, guys. And that's the best way to always look at this, okay? So just be here to see it play out, right? But I'm interested to see what's new in tech coming up in 3, 4, or 5 years. 10 years even will be interesting, but 3, 4, or 5 years there should be some hover bike technology coming through. They gotta let it through. Tone down on the war so we can get the good tech, because they don't want that stuff. People are gonna have to give up arguing and talking to Karen will go away. Karen will go away somewhere, and then there'll be less Karens. Nobody will take Karen's point of view anymore. Karen's almost gone now. I don't know if you noticed. Karen is not popular anymore. 2020 is over. Karen had her... somehow Karen had her moment. And it was whack. But that'll never happen again. Let's listen to this.
C'est pas le bon choix pour les Canadiens. Et j'ai hâte de faire partie, de continuer de faire partie d'un mouvement progressiste qui va envisager un avenir meilleur pour les Canadiens sur l'optimisme et le travail que les Canadiens ont toujours fait pour bâtir un monde meilleur.
Next question.
Hélène Buzetti, les groupes d'information. Bonjour, M. Trudeau. Il y a 16 ans, en décembre 2008, Stephen Harper a prorogé le Parlement pour s'éviter un vote de confiance qu'il savait qu'il allait perdre parce que les 3 partis d'opposition allaient voter contre lui.
Man, we gotta get Harper. We gotta get a picture of Harper, like right here, his hair, next to Trudeau's. I think is he dyeing his hair? Do you think he's dyeing his hair? He's older than I am. I got gray hair. Does that look like there's even a fleck of gray on him? Are you dyeing? Is that whole thing dyed, bro? Because I think you dye your hair. It's cool if you do. I mean, but why are you dyeing it, bro? Why fight it? You know what I mean? How much does that cost? I got a guy who's wants to find out about that.
Exactement comme la situation dans laquelle vous vous trouvez aujourd'hui. À l'époque, le chef libéral, Stéphane Dion, avait dit, puis je le cite ici, que c'était une entrave.
Chambre, venez la voix de la chambre, les éléments, once again. So a political document or political speeches doesn't carry the kind of weight that winning a confidence vote means. But this prorogation will take us only into March, and there will be confidence votes in March.
I don't even know if you can do that to a pierogi. Like, he's making his own rules here as he goes.
In the passing of supply that will allow...
I didn't vote for him, so I don't have to... There's nothing going on. I got a bag of pierogies in the freezer, but I eat them. Like, they go in the oven, I cook them, I eat them. What?
Carry the kind of weight that winning a confidence vote means. But this prorogation will take us only into March.
What are you
carry the kind of weight that...
I gotta get that other guy, I can't pronounce his name, on the phone. Call him up, be like, yo, did you know the guy that's giving you all that cash and then the other older dude that's giving you even more from Canada? You hear what they're doing to pierogies over there?
Winning a confidence vote means. But this prorogation will take us only into March.
What?
And there will be... carry the kind of weight that winning a confidence vote means. But this prorogation will take us only into March.
Does he know he's live?
And there will be confidence votes in March. Winning a confidence vote means. But this prorogation will take us only into March. And there will be confidence votes in March. In the passing of supply. Winning a confidence vote means. But this prorogation will take us only into March, and there will be confidence votes in March in the passing of supply that will allow Parliament to weigh in on confidence in a way that is entirely in keeping with all the principles of democracy and the workings of our strong institutions.
Mais avec respect, M. Trudeau, y a-t-il pas quelque chose un peu antidémocratique de suspendre la possibilité du Parlement d'exprimer sa non-confiance le temps que votre parti se cherche un sauveur? Est-ce qu'il ne devrait pas plutôt juste se référer aux électeurs et de déclencher dès maintenant une élection?
Hélène, je pense que tu as très clairement vu, comme tout le monde dans la galerie de presse parlementaire, à quel point le Parlement ne fonctionne plus depuis plusieurs mois. on est pogné dans une question de privilège. Il y a des motions d'obstruction constantes et on a pu très peu accomplir pendant les derniers mois au Parlement. Le Parlement a besoin d'un reset, a besoin de se calmer un peu les pompons pour se remettre au travail pour les Canadiens et pas à faire de la petite politique constante, ce qu'on est en train de voir des conservateurs. Donc, ce reset a deux éléments. Une prorogation pour que, justement, on recommence avec une fraîche approche au Parlement. Et deuxièmement, oui, le Parti libéral va entamer un leadership parce que je m'attends à ce que si c'est pas moi qui va mener le parti dans les prochaines élections, la polarisation qu'on voit actuellement au Parlement devrait aussi se calmer un petit peu. Les Canadiens ont besoin d'un Parlement qui fonctionne, particulièrement dans ce moment complexe, et ces deux éléments vont représenter le reset nécessaire pour le Parlement.
En anglais, mais si vous pouvez dire pourquoi pas une élection. Vous l'avez pas dit.
The parliamentary press gallery, and anyone who's been watching politics closely over the past months will know that Parliament has been entirely seized by obstruction and filibustering and a total lack of productivity over the past few months. We are right now the longest serving minority government in history, and it's time for a reset. It's time for the temperature to come down, for the people to have a fresh start in Parliament, to be able to navigate through these complex times, both domestically and internationally. And the reset that we have is actually two parts. One is the prorogation, but the other part is recognizing that removing me from the equation as the leader who will fight the next election for the Liberal Party should also decrease the level of polarization that we're seeing right now in the House and in Canadian politics and allow people to actually focus on serving Canadians in this House and with their work the way Canadians deserve.
On va prendre une dernière question.
Good morning, Prime Minister Stephanie Taylor with the National Post. Given, as you just said, there's going to be confidence votes in March, opposition parties have said they are prepared to bring down your government. What kind of chances do you think you are leaving to your successor, given that there will only be mere weeks for them to introduce themselves to Canadians before heading into an election, potentially?
I have a tremendous amount of confidence in both Canadians and in parliamentarians' interest in serving Canadians in the right way. We're in a minority government right now, and there hasn't been an active leadership in a minority government in more than 50 years in this country. And there is always going to be the challenge of having a leadership race while a parliament would face confidence votes in the course of delivering supply to the government. So
I have no clue what he's saying. Does he know he's live? My sides are gonna. Oh, my sides hurt so bad. So he's basically saying, let's rewind this. I'm not saying anything. He's gonna say it.
A parliament would face confidence votes in the course of delivering supply to the government.
You hear him say
so
it.
A parliament would face confidence votes in the course of delivering supply to the government. So this is something that we're going to navigate through, but I truly feel that removing the contention around my own continued leadership is an opportunity to bring the temperature down, have a government around my own continued leadership is an opportunity to bring the temperature down, have a government that will focus on the complex issues that are coming forward in the coming months, while the party gets to have a full national process that brings in people from right across the country and makes a determination about the best person to carry the progressive liberal standard into the next election. Across the opportunity to bring the temperature down, contention around my own continued leadership is an opportunity to bring the temperature down, have a government that will focus on the complex issues that are coming forward in the coming months.
Oh,
while the
but
party
if you had
gets
a
to
crystal
have
ball,
a
you wouldn't
full
be saying none of
national
that.
process that break around my own continued leadership. But I truly feel that removing the contention around my own continued leadership is an opportunity to bring the temperature down, have a government that will focus on the complex issues that are coming forward in the coming months, while the party gets to have a full national process that brings in people from right across the country
Turns out it's
and
Canadian.
makes a
It's
determination about around my own continued leadership is an feel that removing the contention around my own continued leadership is an opportunity to bring the temperature down, have a government that will focus on the complex issues that are coming forward in the coming months, while the party gets to have a full national process that brings in people from right across the country and makes a determination about the best person to carry the progressive liberal standard into the next election.
Can you clarify whether ministers who would like to campaign for your job will have to step out of cabinet? And how can the Liberal government be in a position to protect Canadian businesses and Canadians from the threat of tariffs from incoming President Donald Trump when members of the government are going to be focused on who's going to be taking your job?
The government will still, and the cabinet will still be very much focused on doing the job that Canadians elected us to do in 2021, which is fight for their interests, stand up for their well-being, and make sure that they are good and that Canadians are protected and strong. There will be a leadership process and the rules will unfold over the coming weeks. But I can assure you that the tools and the need to stand up for Canadians, to protect Canadians in their interests and continue to fight for the economy is something that everyone in this government will be singularly focused on. Je peux souligner que, évidemment, les règles et les conditions du leadership du Parti libéral vont être discutées dans les semaines à venir. Mais le gouvernement qui a été élu pour protéger les Canadiens et leurs intérêts dans un monde très complexe, qui a été élu le plus récemment en 2021, va continuer ce travail avec un focus et une emphase singulière sur ce qui est dans les intérêts des Canadiens, pendant que le parti fait ce dont il a besoin pour avoir un processus de leadership.
Merci beaucoup. Ceci conclut la conférence de presse d'aujourd'hui.
Merci tout le monde. Merci d'être ici dans une belle journée d'Ottawa. Bonne journée.
POV, you have bottom-heavy breasts that refuse to stay up. If your breasts have lost volume at the top and feel heavy at the bottom, you probably have the teardrop shape. The problem? Most bras aren't made for you. They leave a gap at the top, offer no support for the heavy bottom, and make you look frumpy. That is why I recommend the Shaper Mint Contour Bra. It is so supportive. It gives me the lift I need without any underwire. Their new wire-free support technology lifts and brings my girls back to where they used to be. The stretchable fabric and wide band keep everything in place, and it completely disappears under shirts. I can't believe how good I look when I wear it. It's so good, it literally keeps selling out. So you'll probably want to grab your size before it's gone again. And if it doesn't work, you can return it hassle-free.
The body scanner reveals the brutal truth about your body that your regular scale will never tell you. For weeks, my scale showed I wasn't losing weight despite diet and exercise. I was about to give up until I discovered the Hume Body Pod. This isn't just another smart scale. It's a complete body intelligence system used in over 12,000 health clinics worldwide, now available for your home. The moment I stepped on it and grabbed the handles, it sent safe electrical currents through my entire body, scanning and analyzing my arms, legs, and torso with 98% DEXA accuracy. What I discovered changed everything. While my weight hadn't changed, I'd actually lost 7 pounds of fat and gained 6 pounds of muscle. The Body Pod measured body fat, muscle mass, water, metabolic age, and 40 other metrics, showing me exactly how my body was responding to different diets, workouts, and routines. No more guesswork or frustrating plateaus, just precise data that showed me exactly where to focus my efforts. Because when you can truly measure everything, you can finally improve everything. That's why top doctors, dietitians, and elite athletes all swear by the Body Pod for accurate results. So I recommend you get your Body Pod now while they still have the special discount. That way, you can finally measure and improve the invisible changes your regular scale is hiding from you.
Guys, I want to thank you all. That is something we got to consider doing more often. If we do it again, we might do it again. If not, thank you all for tuning in.